Are you ready to take action to attain the lifestyle of your dreams?
It's a great way to make a lot of money fast.
Hey, welcome back to the Clever Investor Show. Sperber here. Today we got somebody that really needs no introduction. He's a trillionaire in the making. He's one of the baddest mofo real estate investors on planet Earth. And he's my uncle. In fact, he's everybody's uncle. We're talking about Grant Cardone in the house.
Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you, man.
Man, I've been waiting for this.
Let's go, man. We shouldn't have waited.
For years.
We shouldn't have waited.
For years. Look, we're here in your studio. We kind of took it over. I get 1 hour in the 10X studios with Mr. Cardone.
You deserve it, by the way, okay? Because I love everything that you're doing, the advice that you're giving people. You're giving people like a direction or a place to go where they can, it's like I was saying to you right before this, there's a lot of bullshitters on the internet. You can't bullshit. Like real estate has an address. Anybody that won't give you an address is a bullshitter. So like anybody can say anything they want. You can do fillers and you can do filters and you can do whatever you want. In real estate, bro, it's like 1123, bang, there's the street. That's how big it is. Yep. There's a deed, a title, there's a record. Like it's all real, man.
Real recognizes real. We're out here just collecting addresses.
Yeah.
And so, look, this show's all about making money, having fun, obviously teaching people how to break free using real estate as a vehicle or any investing advice, really just financial literacy, just to make sure people start thinking bigger, which is obviously the 10X brand, thinking big always. And every time I'm around you, I'm always inspired to.
Well, thank you.
You get kind of pissed off at yourself and you're like, why the fuck am I in single family right now?
Uh-huh.
I got to step my game up.
Predominantly what you're in?
Well, it was the path for me that I was able to get into because I'm Phoenix, Arizona. Everybody that I was near was in the house business.
Right.
And you started with houses. I hear you say all the time, like, don't do houses. But you started with houses.
But people take one clip, right? So what I say is, and I bought homes. I bought a single family home. First deal I ever did, 28 years old, put $3,000 down, $3,500, bought a $78,000 home. 30 days later, I bought a second one. Like I don't take long to get it. Like I bought one, boom, 30 days later, I bought a second one. Moved out of the first one, moved into the second one, you know the game?
Yep.
And then they moved out, people moved out of the first one. And I was like, okay, I don't like that. I don't like it when they move out. I like it when they move in, and I like it when they pay, right? And so then I started studying. I said, there's something about this game I don't know, because all of a sudden I went from happy to like, I'm negative. Negative being negative cash flow. And negative cash flow makes you negative. And if you're positive when you get negative cash flow, then you got a psychological breakdown, because you shouldn't be positive if you're negative, right? So what happened was I started studying these guys like Sam Zell, and I started the biggest of the biggest. Okay, these aren't Instagram famous people; these are big players. I studied the guy out of Orange County, Donald Brent. He's the largest landowner in America. These guys all had one thing in common, dude. They weren't buying single family. They were either building massive communities out, single family homes, or they were building multifamily, or they were buying somebody else's multifamily and holding it for long periods of time. So that's why my first real deal was a deal that made me $5 million. And it was a 48 unit deal in Vista, California. I was in it 37 months. I put, I had 350 grand in it. Most of it wasn't mine. And I walked away a multimillionaire. I didn't do that with the two single families. Yeah. So when I tell people don't buy a single family, man, I just bought two of them. Just because I say don't do it, you got to see what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying if you're on the come up, people shouldn't go out and buy houses. And everybody that collects single family or flips, they end up wanting to do what I do anyway.
100%.
So I'm not trashing on anybody. Buy real estate.
My thing wasn't necessarily, I wasn't even trying to own real estate. In the beginning, I was just trying to make money from real estate as a vehicle. So it was more like, for my mindset, it was like, how do I flip something?
Yeah, I was doing exactly
and just get paid.
Because you probably like me, I was trying to make money, bro. I wasn't thinking about wealth.
I was actually desperate.
I was thinking about how do I get another $200 a month.
That's it. Well,
and that first real estate deal I did, Cody, that was the most important real estate deal I ever did. And I would tell everybody, the first deal you do is the most important deal you will ever do in your career, because it will determine whether you do a second deal or a third deal. And the first deal, like if I could go back and do everything again, I would not look for a deal If it couldn't make me $1 million, I would not do that deal today. I would tell everybody, your first deal should change your life.
All right,
It should put you
so
on.
let's think about that.
Yeah.
You're watching this and you're like, I don't know anything about real estate. I don't have any connections. I'm not licensed. I don't even know if I need to be. I don't know any successful people in my life. I have no money. I have no background. I have no connections.
Yeah.
But I hear Grant Cardone saying, go do a deal that's going to make you the biggest amount of money as humanly possible.
Yeah. Easier to make $1 million with no knowledge in real estate than to make $1 million from a job. You show me somebody that's making $1 million from a job. I don't give a shit how good they are. You got NFL players that don't make $1 million a year. They spent the last freaking 12, 13 years of their life just getting into the NFL. They got some lucky break to get in the NFL, and those guys are paid $500,000 a year. You have better chance of making $1 million on your first real estate deal than you do getting the NFL, the NBA, winning the lottery. It's harder to get your wife pregnant and have a baby today.
Well, I got a strategy for that. You grab the legs and you shake like that upside down, and it happens every time. Both kids.
Really?
I swear to God, it's true story.
Because it took us, we probably tried for 3 years to have Sabrina.
Really?
Yeah. It was, the first one was hard. The second one was very easy. But the first real estate deal was easy, but it was hard to make money on.
Mm.
So what I tell people is like, man, if it's easy to get, it's probably going to be hard to get rid of. It's like an STD. You know, they're easy to get, bro. They're hard to get rid of. So easy real estate is hard to get rid of. Harder to get rid of.
So I'm sitting, and this is where I was driving towards. It's like, so I'm sitting there. I don't have any resources or connections.
Yeah.
Houses are not scary, right? Commercial's scary.
No,
So
it's not, dude.
Talk
It's
people
not.
through that.
It's easier. So you got a single family home. You got one house over here. And, you know, Brenda is going to love the house. You're like your sister-in-law, oh my God, this kitchen's fantastic. Then over here, you got 32 of these little houses that are all glued together. First of all, I need less of a credit score on these 32 than I need to buy this house. This house, this single family house that you're going to flip to Brenda. First of all, you got to hope that Brenda can even qualify for the loan, which she probably doesn't do now. You got to hope that she's got a 20% down payment. She probably doesn't have that right now because of the economy. And you got to hope that Brenda loves the place. I mean, you got to get three things really right. Economy, her income, her job, and then she's got to love the asset, okay? Now, opposed to the 32. The 32 units, you know that they don't look at my credit score on any of these deals. What they look at is the asset quality. The asset is the way to build your credit score up to a point to where, like, I don't even care about your credit score. By the way, you could have never paid anybody back in your entire life and still get a loan on that deal. That won't happen on that house. Why? Because they're looking at the asset class. Now, the other question is, I don't have the credit. The way to build a network and a credit score is through an asset. It is not through what people are being told on the internet. Work harder, save money, save for a rainy day, improve your credit score. Own assets, okay? The deal is what attracts the credit. And the right deals attract the money. Great deals always attract money and always attract debt. One single family house that can only attract Brenda. I got to get this one Brenda. It's like getting pregnant. Like literally the sperm has to find the egg and it's got to go through this freaking, it's a million and one. Same thing with selling one house and making a little bit of money. And it was easy 2 years ago. Now it's going to become impossible.
Yeah.
So this 32 homes, bro, I would just take, for every single deal you do, Cody, I would say, hey, for less effort, you could 32x your portfolio.
It took me 6 years of doing single family before I woke up.
Yeah.
6 years.
Because you're making money with it.
I was doing well. I became a millionaire. Everything was going.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Or until, like you said, you know, like right now with interest rates and the economy shifting, single family. I have 20 new builds going right now, Grant. 20 new builds.
New build means what?
So I buy old houses in a very specific zip code, tear them down, and rebuild from the ground up $2-3 million homes.
Okay.
I'm a builder. I'm a developer.
Got it.
I'm a builder. I own title companies, I own lending companies. I own all these different tranches. I like verticalized my business, but
right.
It took me 6 years of just flipping houses, wholesaling houses, and eventually I started building a rental portfolio, but in the house business. Then it goes vacant. Then it sits there for 2 months. Then you finally get somebody else in there, and like that was stressful. Before my mentor, because my small thinking was, how am I going to go do a 50 unit, 100 unit apartment complex? That's scary to me. And I didn't think I had the credit. I didn't think I had the knowledge. I didn't think I had whatever.
Well, because nobody promotes this. The CNBC never talks about this as a way to make money because they're Wall Street's bitch. They're proselytizing Wall Street. They're pushing Wall Street every day. Oh, invest in this company, invest in. Dude, Cardone Capital pays a greater dividend than Bank of America. Like, it's crazy. But Bank of America is this glorified company. Apple Computer pays no dividend at all. How would you and I even know this exists when every day we're basically sold this American dream, own a home, blah, blah, blah. So that's why you probably went down that. And that's why I did it.
And eventually you do wake up when you're in the space long enough where you're like, I'm working my butt off.
Stressed
out all the time. Yeah. Same amount of energy as you, except for you're going exponential growth and I'm incremental growth.
You got buildings, you got permits, you got regulations, you got employees, you got cost of materials.
20 houses right now, and I'm scared I got 30 million floating.
Yeah.
I'm scared to death.
Bro, I don't know how you do it. Like, what you're doing is so complicated compared to what I'm doing. I have one thing to figure out. Is it a great asset? It's already full. I have cash flow. Like, I close in January, I have cash flow in February. Like, I have no stress. Even when the economy starts imploding and all the bad news and the headlines and shit, it's got to be terrifying you right now. Like, am I going to nobody likes it, right?
Yeah, no, it's awful.
But I know, I'm not selling any of my stuff anyway. The rents are still going to be there. And by the way, when people can't buy homes because of interest rates, what do they have to do? And so I'm like, hey, I got.
Well, my first big deal was an 89 unit apartment building, and my play was I don't know what to do with this, but I found the opportunity.
Yeah.
I brought it to a guy like you. I brought it to somebody who was very experienced because I had to borrow your credibility. I had to borrow your 100%. Infrastructure, borrow your resources, borrow your money, and I serve it up on a silver platter and say, what do I do here, and how do I cut myself in? Yeah. That's how I finally got into the multifamily game, and from then it was like, okay, I get.
How'd you do with that deal?
Fantastic.
Were you worried about, you still own it?
No, we ended up selling. This was a long time ago.
You probably regret that.
100%. Right? I have a 81.
Nobody ever regrets selling a house.
I have about 430 units in multifamily right now, and then I have hundreds of units in single family. But my goal, obviously, is to do more multifamily. And I own commercial buildings and stuff like where my businesses operate. Right. The whole point of owning a business, in my opinion, is to own the real estate and have the businesses lease from you. And so I'm doing some of the power moves right. But when I come here and I'm masterminding with you for 2 days and I start thinking like a lot bigger, I'm like, I got to get way more aggressive, especially with the economy shifting. Right now is the time.
Right, 1,000. We're going to walk. I believe this is going to be this is a real estate reset. And what happens is they reset everything. Like if you just study decades. Every decade they go for the reset, bro. The wealthy. These guys that have the top of the food chain guys that are worth so much money, unbelievable. They're like, hey, I want more. They have endless appetites for more. So what they do is they just figure out who collected in the last cycle. It was a bunch of actually people like me went and collected assets. And they're like, you know what? Those guys collected enough. A lot of them made mistakes collecting. They over leveraged, got greedy, offered their investors too much, took on too much debt. And we're going to go get that stuff back from them.
Well, this has been going on since the ranch. And you would maybe know a little bit more than me. What I'm seeing right now is you had all of these people over the last few years, this big run up, dive in and gobble up, maybe even overpaying multifamily assets. And they put them in these short-term bridge loan type of scenarios where they thought, as long as interest rates stay low, I can do this for 6-9 months, a year and a half, stabilize the asset or whatever, refinance out, and then hold it. Now they can't refinance out. They got all these DSCR loans.
They have to refinance down.
Yeah. And so is that where you're seeing the big opportunity from you? Because you're so cash heavy. Are you just waiting for this implosion to happen so you can go scoop up all these deals?
We let $1 billion worth of deals go in February of this year. When things started changing, I said, let them go. We walked away from security deposits, like literally. And we borrowed, we overpaid for assets in the last 2 years. Like,
you weren't shy about that.
And I would still overpay for them because I own them. The difference between me overpaying, and other people is I don't have a 3-year cycle. They do. They have a 3-year, they got a 3-year loan. I don't have any of these problems. I'm not selling this asset for 10 years, maybe never selling these assets. So I just got to weather the cycle. And I have a lot of cash, so I can always pay down the debt. They don't. They took every one of their loans. We have 41 properties. Only 5 of them have adjustable. The rest of them have fixed money. These guys had 3-year plans, so they couldn't put fixed money. That debt, some of these guys didn't even have cap rates, meaning that the interest rate is going to go from 2.8 to, who knows, maybe 8.5. Worse than that. They're going to have to buy the debt down. Now, this is hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars worth of loans. I'm not talking about some guy that bought a single family home. The opportunity is not there today. I think the bigger opportunity there, the great reset is going to be in these 200 unit, 60 unit, 90 unit in your town in Indiana. Somebody did this, okay? Some guy went out, David, bought a 90 unit deal, put it on a 2-year loan. I'm going to refinance, just like you said. And he woke up one day and he's like, fuck, the interest rates are 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, whatever. And he promised his investor 12%. So every year he's 21% behind every year. So he'll tap out and say, hey, I can't reset it. I don't have any cash. I don't have another business that flows me. And that deal is going to become available for the person that's connected to that network of people. I can't go buy it because I don't know anybody in Illinois or Indiana. It's not my market. But I'll be here to buy the stuff here in Texas and Carolinas.
Where are your markets right now? Like where are you focusing?
Arizona, I love Arizona. Anything Arizona, there was hundreds of billions of dollars of loans that are going to come due there. They're not going to the bank or the auction. Like this old thing, the Kiyosaki talked about, foreclosures, that ain't going to happen in this cycle. You have to be connected to the network. And the network is basically people like me that got in. I'm kind of an outlier. And it's a very closed network of people with private deals. So it'll be, Utah will be great. Colorado is going to be phenomenal. I'm not there yet, but Arizona, Texas, almost anywhere in Texas. It's going to be a reset, bro. Alabama is going to be phenomenal. All of Florida. There's going to be an opportunity for you guys to buy Florida. Some of these places, the Carolinas is going to be great. Georgia is going to be phenomenal. But it's going to be hundreds of billions, trillions probably, of dollars of product. This is a chance for you to become a billionaire in 18 months.
I'm going to need one of your shirts.
Oh, Trillionaire.
You got the Trillionaire one. I need the billionaire one.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we
pass that over.
We hit it. My office gave me this new shirt. I'm like, Trillionaire in the making. I'm like, that's so stupid, man. That's ridiculous. So,
you know what?
Everybody keeps pushing me though. So
yeah,
that's
mean, you're talking crazy all the time. Why not?
Look, I mean, there's guys out there, BlackRock. The public doesn't even know this happened, but in March of this year, they wrote off 1.7 trillion. Is that right? 1.7 trillion?
Yeah, I believe so.
Dollars.
I believe so, yeah. And nobody even reported on it.
Nothing. Nobody knows it even happened. That's one of the largest real estate owners in the world. Why are they doing that? They're going to reset their valuations, come back to market and dump all that. This is how Wall Street works. They can reset the value, make it a public thing. They own all the media in the world, so they'll just cover the fucking mess up. And then they'll come back later this year and dump it and show a profit.
Do you ever look, you've been taking heat.
You and I could go buy a lot of those assets. By the way, none of the institutions are going to step in and buy right now. They're all gone, bro. Everybody walked away from the table. So it's only going to be aggressive little grunt, driven little guys that want a chance to make it. I mean, I'm just like grinder, right? That's not Wall Street. Wall Street's not a grinder.
Well, look, you've been taking heat forever. You're obviously confrontational. You speak your mind, but you're a great marketer. I watch as a fellow marketer. I really enjoy the show, the good, the bad, all of it. And I'm always rooting for you just because I love the underdog angle.
Thanks.
And you're very scrappy. And so it's like, do you ever worry like calling out the BlackRocks and these guys? I mean, like you're basically, standing there poking them like.
Well, it's not a good thing to do if you're going to stay small. But if you have what they want, they'll forgive you. So what we're doing is we're very strategic about collecting the kind of assets that they are forced to eat. Okay, they don't no matter how big and powerful you get, you still have Achilles heels, right? Your business plan becomes your business plan. It becomes the thing that, like, if I know your business plan, then I can participate in your business plan. So I can become a necessary evil to the BlackRock. Or,
maybe they could buy you someday.
Maybe We do
Maybe
the flippy dippy.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe we do the flippy dippy and I make my big move, bro. Look, you don't think that these big giants can't fall. They have fallen. Like all you got to do is go back hundreds of years, man.
Do you sleep well at night? Are you ever nervous? Look,
every
you
day,
raised $1 billion.
Every day, bro.
Have you guys crossed $1 billion yet?
Not
Close.
quite, but
You're close.
we will before the end of the
To
year.
raise, I mean, I had a big hang up there for years, and I think that was one of my
I worry
reasons.
about everything, bro. I don't show it on camera. They don't know. Everybody thinks I'm all cocky and arrogant. Underneath all that is like always worried. First about other people's money.
Because, like, you know, you see these haters and stuff online. They put out videos about you. Grant's going down. Grant's
Yeah,
screwed.
yeah,
Grant's
yeah.
going bankrupt. Grant's
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You know, and
I'm never in those interviews though.
well, yeah.
They're clickbaiters, right? So somebody will tell me, "Hey, man, somebody said you stole like $1 billion." I'm like, okay, but was I in that interview? Because I don't remember that interview. No, you weren't.
You got to have a ton of people crawling through your books and up your ass. Regulators looking at everything. It's
I bought a house a year and a half ago in Golden Beach, right up the street here. I bought it in, I think it was May. June 24th, the SEC writes our office. They know everything I do. Like, forget these fucking clickbait dumbasses on YouTube, right? Telling some story from a distance. The SEC knows where if I buy a piece of art, they know it. I bought that house. The SEC sends us a subpoena for every one of my accounts. I told Sherry, I called my CEO and said, just put the SEC on our books and just tell them to get on all my accounts. I'll make them
But
my lawyer's like, that's a bad idea. But I said, bro, I got nothing to hide. Like, if you don't steal money, if you take care of people, if you take care of your investor, if you got clean hands, you got clean hands. I'm like, okay, let's do whatever you want to do. The books don't lie. This is where I started. Real estate you cannot lie around real estate. You can lie around crypto. This happened with Sammy, your buddy. Okay, he'll go to jail for fucking 40 years, and he should. Bernie Madoff can do it with paper because they're moving paper. But real assets, when we take money, when we raise $926 million, the whole $926 million gets converted to a bank account that I have nothing to do with. That money then goes and buys $3 billion worth of real estate. It's buried, it's gone, it's lost. The money's not there. You can't call up and say, I need my $1 million back. Okay, well, bro, that asset needs to trade. You knew when you did this, it was 10 years. That money is pushed off aside, illiquid. And we tell our investors, that money is not touchable for the next 10 years. Or until I decide.
All right, so let's just say I'm going through divorce, I'm maybe going through bankruptcy or something. I call you up, I'm like, Grant, I'm fucked. I need my money back.
Well, if you're going for bankruptcy, you definitely don't want that money.
All right, throw out bankrupt. I'm fucked. I'm begging you, Grant. I need my money back.
Yeah, well then make me an offer.
Okay.
And let me see if maybe I can do it. But here's a couple of complications with it. One is I've already sent you probably. Let's say it was $1 million. I probably already sent you $3 million worth of depreciation. I don't get that by buying you out. So where's my depreciation? Because when I buy something, I want the depreciation. You've already gotten the depreciation, and now you want your money back. Okay, so make me an offer. Like maybe if I can't buy it, I'm not. Most of the time, I have cash to buy assets. Okay, I already bought that asset. I don't want to. Why would I go buy it again? Maybe I would. So make me an offer. But look, if I make you an offer, if I tell you I'm willing to pay for it, that's probably not a good deal for you.
I get it.
So I would tell people, like I had a guy that he was one of the internet guys selling stuff on the internet. We sell stuff on the internet. And he came to me, he says, look, I got $1 million. You know, how much of it should I invest? I said, bro, there's only one answer. All of it. And he's like, I thought you'd say that. I'm like, well, why would, like if I'm gonna tell you only invest part of it, it's because I don't believe in it. I said, if I were you, I'd invest all of it. Number one, because it's a partnership and you can't break partnerships.
You say that all the time about, cash is trash.
Yeah, but let me just finish the story, okay? This guy gets investigated by the FTC. They seized all his assets except one of them, the money he put with Cardone Capital, because he can't break the partnership. The FTC can't, IRS can't, nobody can. Can't break a partnership to get money. The marriage, they can't break that partnership. It affects other people.
Can he profit from it at the end?
I don't know. It depends on.
We'll see how that plays out.
Sooner or later, the FTC is going to stop. I mean, they don't seize money. They don't seize money anymore the way they used to, but they used to. Is it the Federal Trade Commission? Yeah. They used to freeze your assets. Now they can't do that anymore. But that's what they did with him. Cash is trash.
Yeah. You're always kind of like, get it out, put it to work.
It is 100% trash. It's a little more valuable in this moment.
That's what I was driving towards.
Yeah,
that way you can take advantage of some good deals.
But what's the reason I say cash is trash is because it's the people you want, not the money you want. It's people. When you get a connection with people that have wealth and they trust what you do, your track record is worth more than your money. The asset's worth more than the money. Art's worth more than money. Almost anything is worth more than money, particularly people. So when I say like, we're sitting on about 380 less 70, so 310 or something today. Okay, I would dump if I found the right deal right now.
I also have $310,000.
Yeah, okay, and I would dump the whole thing. I would dump all 310 into the right deal right now today as we sit here, because I know I'm going to go make connections with people that can replace the 310 again. And I know the right deal will always find another 310 or another 3 billion.
Is there a limit? You mentioned the other day,
there's no
50 billion.
There's 8 billion people
or some crazy number.
Yeah, there's no reason to have a limit on it because I just need to watch what these other guys have done. If they can do it, I can do it. It's the asset, dude. It's not them. It's not their organization.
Who do you go to for advice? Like, who's in your top 5 people that you're reaching out to? And let's start with 2 levels. Grant Cardone 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone today.
Yeah. Well, my church helps me, man, more than anything. Like my church helps me more than any single.
You never even talk about it.
Yeah, because I'm not here to promote my church. So it's not my job to promote. It's my job to get me in the best condition, and that's where I always go. Every time there's like a reset, COVID, fears, concerns, like inflation, man. Inflation should be everybody's concern. Warren Buffett says nobody understands this concept. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to go spend some time in a quiet place where I can study what this means. What does it mean to me and my family that things would be inflated? I don't know what that means. They didn't teach me.
But your church actually
because
has the education around that?
Yes, because it's the only church, dude, that actually like handles more than just the dogma of faith. It's a practical. My church.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've only seen videos of people holding on to like buzzers and stuff or something.
Yeah, well, that's not a buzzer, and that's just weird, right? So that's just bullshit propaganda. But the thing is, it's an opportunity for. Why can't I understand everything? As a spiritual being, why would I not be able to understand anything and everything? Why are people getting out of high school and understand nothing? Because the system failed. Dude. People don't know how to read. They don't know how to study. They don't know how to learn. They don't know how to apply anything. My church is an applied religion. It's me applying something to my marriage or to my business or to my non-understanding or to my lack of confidence. So I didn't mean to go there, but I'm just going to.
No, I'm actually fascinated by it because it's like it. I have a lot of friends. Obviously, Arizona heavily Mormon. So many of our listeners reach out and they ask us how they can get involved in my actual real estate deals. We got a lot going on here right now, from developing and owning multifamily to developing new subdivisions to assisted living facilities, storage facilities, mobile home parks. Our investment firm specializes in finding deeply discounted properties, acquiring them, sometimes knocking them down and building from the ground up, renovating, stabilizing both single-family and multifamily properties all over the United States. That's why we're so excited to share with you clevercapitalfund.com. Now, if you have some investment capital, lazy money laying around, and you want to deploy it and receive double-digit returns backed by real estate, then visit our website and see which fund is right for you. We have both equity funds where you can participate in the upside, and we have like debt funds where you just get paid out every month like clockwork. All you got to do is visit www.clevercapitalfund.com today to learn more.
I didn't know that Arizona was heavily Mormon. They have an unbelievable work ethic.
That's what I was going to say. They're very successful. They do heavy collaboration within each other. The money stays within the ecosystem.
They have financial intelligence.
A lot of financial
financial literacy.
Yeah. So
There's-
all right. So
there's
you go
other
to your church.
cultures-
So when you're
yeah.
in, but when you say that, is it because the network within your church, or is it?
No. I mean, like me. It's one. It's me, man. Like everybody talks about, hey, who do you go to advice from? First person I go to advice from is me, bro. I'm stuck
So
with
this
me.
is just an insane personal development program.
Yeah, but what do I know and believe? No, I can go to Bob. Bob's a billionaire, and Bob's done great things, but he knows it. I got to fix me first. So that's where I would tell people about who you're going to go to. The first person I consult is Grant. What do I need? What are my liabilities? What are my assets? What do I know? What do I not know? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to meet? So the second thing is going to be like, okay, who in this space? Like my mentors are typically not people I spend time with. They're people I study from a distance. I can't get enough time from Warren. I've had dinner with him. I had dinner with him maybe 8 months ago. But how long is that going to be? Like an hour, 45 minutes? You know, it's going to end. Dana White, I spend time with Dana White. I mean, what Dana White has done is freaking crazy. Who he's connected to is even more insane. But how much time do I get with him? An hour, 2 hours? I need to study people.
Do you have close friends that you consult with or collaborate with, or is that more like within the Cardone world?
Yeah,
You
it's
guys
more
are
in
bouncing?
the Cardone world. But like you know, let's see, maybe 14 years ago, I spent 3 months with a guy that had just sold his company for $4 billion. That was very meaningful for me. So I don't want 90 minutes from people. I want like, hey, let me just hang with you, dog. Let me hang with you, have coffee with you. Now to do that, you can't call a billionaire up and say, hey, can I just hang out with you? It's going to be like weird. And if he accepts, it's even weirder. So it's like, what can you
He's like,
get?
sure, come to my island.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like, hey, what can you offer that person? So then you need assets. You need something he doesn't have or she doesn't have. And so this guy, I basically, you know, took care of this guy for 90 days, bringing him around the world and wanted nothing. But the thing he did show me one day, he's like, hey, Grant, what do you want from him? We had been together a couple of weeks, and we were on this cruise in the Mediterranean, not the Mediterranean, the wherever Puerto Rico and all that stuff is, Caribbean. So he's like, what do you want? I said, bro, let me tell you what I really want. I want to see your checking account. I was freaking like, I hadn't hit it yet. And I'm like, I just want to see what it looks like to have a lot of money in a bank account. He's like, yeah, sure, man. Here's my statement. Threw his statement over. It was $436 million in a checking account. I'd never seen that number before. It was like, in one account. Then there was a big Schwab account. I don't know, it had like 800 million in it. I was like, oh my God, it's real. That's what I had. I didn't have envy. I didn't have, it's too much. I didn't have, oh my God, that's terrible. I had, fuck, it's real, dude. I'd never seen it before. It was like his statement. He was in front of me, and I was like, this is possible. And that moment, everything shifted for me. That 190 seconds was worth everything because it became real to me. Another reason why I like real estate is because it's real. Like, I'm not a big believer. I'm not a big trusty guy. I like real shit.
I've had something similar happen. A friend of mine exited his business for $2.4 billion.
Yeah.
And I called him up the next day, and he got the money. And I said, "Can we just stare at the bank account together?" Yeah.
Really, man?
Yeah. I
said
to him, "This is what's great about the story." I said, "You know, obviously, by the time you're building a $2.4 billion business, you're already wealthy. You're doing well."
Yeah.
But I said, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this money?" And I shit you not, he was dead serious. He goes, "You know what, Cody? I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been eyeballing a new set of golf clubs for months."
Dude, that's crazy,
and I'm like,
man.
What? You're going to buy golf
Let
clubs?
me get those for you.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm going to buy golf clubs. That's what I'm going to do with this money." And it blew my mind. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. But all right, so you're building this massive empire right now. I mean, like, you're
What would you do if you had $2 billion, a $2 billion score? What would you do?
Once I crossed over 20 million, not much changed for me. Like, if I go 25 million, I don't know. I've never made hundreds of millions.
Right.
So
Right. I heard Andrew Tate said that after 20 million. I said, well, it's because you've never had any real money, Andrew.
I've never had any real money.
Because he's like, man, after 20 million, nothing changes.
I mean,
Bro,
I'm definitely getting the jet. That's by far going to be my most thing.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. When you go from 20 million to 200 million, 200 million, like, everything changes. And then you realize how little you actually have.
Oh, I believe that.
Because all of a sudden, damn, everything becomes possible.
Here's my
it's
thing,
still
Grant.
out of reach, dude. It's insane.
Here's my thing, and I've said this in other podcasts, like my most impressive friends are not, and I have a lot of friends with jets and cool cars and houses all over.
Yeah.
My most impressive friends are like Cole Hatter, who owns an orphanage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you're making your money matter. Like, this is really cool. Like, you're weaving it in
Yeah,
every
I love Cole.
part.
I love Cole and his wife.
Such good people. But, going down and actually being in his orphanage and then seeing all the land that we're buying next to the orphanage.
Right.
And the expansion of this impact that he's making.
Yeah.
And we're obviously trying to help as much as we can. I think that's what I'm going to do with my money. I'm going to try to like.
You're still going to have some left over, bro.
I'm definitely getting a jet and
Trust me.
some cool cars. But
yeah, and some golf clubs.
And some new golf clubs. So you're building this empire. I'm watching now this expansion in. You're doing education. You're doing 10X Health. You're doing. Which, by the way, I need a commission. I brought my boy Eric Spofford to the table at our last mastermind, and he bought. I went over to his house yesterday. He's got all your 10X Health shit everywhere. I'm like, this has to be $200,000 worth of shit. He goes, oh yeah, easily.
At least.
And I said,
I'll get you some golf clubs.
Where's
bro.
my damn commission?
I'll get you some golf clubs.
Yeah,
10X golf clubs.
Yeah. So what's the overall game plan here? And I know you're doing something massive coming up.
Yeah.
In January, one of the most legendary, massive things, and you said something at our last mastermind about like, hey, we're going to fill a stadium, and then your whole team gets behind it, then you do it, and now everybody believes. Now you're setting the bar even higher to do something massive in January.
Yeah, we're going to have 1 million people online. I'm going to do this. I think it's the perfect time of the year to do it. People are resetting their year. Also, we're going to be walking into a terrible, terrible economy. This is going to unveil itself as time goes on. It's going to get really, really bad for people. So I think the timing of a new year and a bad economy, I want to be able to give back to people to show them, hey, man, this is what we could do for you and your family. This could be a reset, a pivot.
So you're putting on
not a setback.
Just so everybody listening or watching knows what I'm talking about. Grant and his team, as they're masterminding how they're going to take over the freaking world, they're putting together something called the Unbreakable Challenge. And this is a free 5-day challenge for anybody watching. There will be a link somewhere near this video or this podcast. Anyways, we'll make sure that you have access to it. But anyway, it's a free 5-day challenge. We've been kind of masterminding behind the scenes.
I think we end up with more than 1 million people because of your involvement, your trust with your community, and some other people we're working with. And that people are going to actually get turned away. So I would tell people, like, if you're going to do this, register right away, get your name in the hat, because the internet still is not capable. This metaverse concept that you can just push as much data as you want through a network is not true. You can't. I still can't get Siri to understand what the hell I'm saying, man. We're a long way from the metaverse, bro.
So you're going to get 1 million plus people on a 5-day challenge. And look, and the reason I brought up the expansion and all the businesses, you have 25 businesses right now that you guys are scaling. I'm watching Brandon Dawson and what you guys are doing there. You guys went from $0 to $70+ million in 3 years. Like, it's insane. The scalability, how you're able to just breathe on it.
That'll happen faster in this reset than it happened in the good times.
But the process you put a company through, whether you're brand new and trying to start and get going, or you're already doing $3 million or $30 million, you come in and you breathe your systems, your processes, your strategy, your marketing energy, your team, your SOPs on a business, and it just goes.
Yeah, or an individual.
Is that what we're talking about in this challenge?
Hey, who do you go to? I'm like, first thing I do is go to me, right? People that are, maybe you're a waiter or a waitress, or you're an Uber driver, or you're a CEO of a company. It's not really any different. It's still you limiting you. So the 5 things we cover in those days is like, where do you want to go? Not this isn't motivation. It's like, what's the destination? What's the target? Most people just simply have the wrong target. Most small businesses in America break even or lose money because they have the wrong target. They're just like, I just want to make 70 grand out of my business. I want to own my business. I want to be the boss. The boss of what? And so first thing we do is fix the target. What is the target? This reset is going to create massive opportunities. This is where wealth is created in very short periods of time. Anybody can get this wealth because the big money is going to sideline. It has to sideline because it's public. A little more complicated, but they're public, so they have to be careful. Okay, and you don't. You need to take risk right now. So day one, we talk about what's the target for 2023. If you're making 10 million, I want to take you to 100 million that year. If you're making 10,000, I want to take you to 100 grand that year. If you've never saved money, I want to see if you can find your first real estate deal and bank $1 million in the first 12 or 18 months. Like, that's possible if you know what the target is. Second thing, we actually have to market that yourself. You cannot do this and be invisible. Money does not move to, blank spots in the universe. It moves to where the attention is. So we're going to show you how to get attention for your brand. Everybody's got a brand. And Cody's got one, I have one, and the more I can personify that brand, the more you can personify yours, without money, by the way, because of social media. Third thing is, how do I start selling, monetizing this? Like, how I believe people should monetize. I believe you should set up a landing page today, make money today. You could actually make money before the idea even has a product created. And you've seen me do that. And this is it's not private. I'm very transparent. I'm going to share everything that we do inside we've done $1 billion worth of sales over the internet. It has nothing to do with real estate. That's outside the real estate. So I can teach anybody how to do this. Well, all we do is show you what we did. You do what I did, that's what's going to happen. And the fourth thing we're going to do is, hey, how do you communicate this to your people around you, your family around you, an audience, a new audience, so they'll support you and get behind you.
So over the course of 5 days, we're going to take somebody, whether they're brand new or more experienced, we're going to show them the exact strategies that you're implementing in your companies to start and scale. How
to 10x anything. You got 10 units, how to get 100. You got 10 million, how to get 100 million. You got nothing, how do I 10x nothing?
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I want to play as strong as part as I possibly can.
I know
get behind, and look, you said something about brands. It makes a lot of sense for me to attach my brands to yours.
And mutually.
Yeah.
So
the collaboration. I like this new grant, by the way.
You do?
This fun collaboration grant.
Yeah,
You're a fierce competitor for so long. And I'm seeing you evolve. And by the way, for everybody, Grant's actually a really soft, nice guy. Like he rolls around as a fierce competitor, and you are. Like you are. And you're not, you'll tell people right up front, like, I'm going for mine.
Yeah.
However, if there's collaboration and synergy and alignment, then
it's as hard as I'll fight for me, I'll fight for the guy next to me. So
I love that. I want to end this strong, man. Everybody wants to know one thing, and this is the most important question. And you can't pick your family. Okay. You're trapped on a deserted island for 1 year. You have to choose out of these three people who you're going to bring with you. Jordan Belfort, Tony Robbins, or Cody Sperber.
Dude, 100%. Not even a question. They wouldn't even be on the list.
Tell me why.
Well, bro, first of all, me and you could have more fun together. 2, we're going to do more good. 3, you're not a scam, bro. And you're not a snitch. And you're not a criminal. And you're not going to ask me to walk on fire. So, I'm going to be like, hey, bro, I told you I was trapped on the fucking island, but the truth is on the other side is my 300-foot yacht. Let's go fucking party.
Let's go. I love that answer. Hey,
listen, you're going to be here January, right? To support your team, the people that come in.
1,000,000%. I'm fully involved. I'm backing it all the way. I told you and Jared, and by the way, I love Grant's team. Phenomenal team here. The reason I'm so passionate about this, besides the market shifting, and I see what you guys are actually doing, you guys do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, always.
And that's like my favorite thing about you. You could be tough, you could be aggressive, you could be expanding and dominating, but the fact that you actually do what you say you're going to do is important to me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, those are the people
it's
that
easy to cry on Instagram and tell everybody how you want to save the world and help everybody and feed everybody. But what do you really do every day with your team, the people around you? I'm the same guy all the time. I'm just the same guy. I don't pretend to be somebody else. I'm not going to start crying to get people to love me or to fund something. Like, we've raised $125 million for charities. Like, I don't go around telling people that, but that we've done that. You can't do that if you don't have money, and you can't do that if you're not trusted by the people. Also, in the real estate game, you can't get real estate deals if nobody knows you, and you can't get them if they don't trust you. You can get them without money, and you can get them without credit, and you can get them without experience, but you got to get the deal. Because the deal, like I promise you, man, you should own, the next time me and you meet, you should own at least 1,000 units.
Yes,
Do
I mean,
not
that's a goal.
stress you out.
Yeah, that's a goal for sure. And
Maybe
what do you think-
2,000, bro. Maybe 2,000.
What do you think about right now building from the ground up?
I don't like it.
So you want to buy
I don't
already
like it
existing
because
assets?
yeah, because it's like, why would I take that risk?
Well, I'm a builder.
Okay.
You know, so
Maybe you want to give up that title.
yeah. Okay.
You know, my daughter says she's a 13-year-old. I said, well, you're going to have to give that title up at some point. You know, bro, I was a drug addict. You know, and somebody said, when are you going to give that up? So I've never met builders that got really rich. I met a lot of them that went broke, though. And I met all of them were stressed. I've never met a builder that didn't have stress.
That's real. Well, I'm now officially no longer a builder. And I'm now going to...
Last thing I'll say is the CEO of
Been a great talk. Thanks for the pep talk,
the
Grant.
CEO of Coca-Cola last year made $50 million. Warren Buffett, the number one investor of Coca-Cola, made $500 million. And you know Warren's got less stress than the CEO. So, you know, I wanted to be a boss at one point. Somebody said, when are you going to give that up? You don't want to be a boss. You want to be an investor. Cody Sperber.
We're gonna
meet
end
the
on
new
that
Cody
note.
Sperber.
Hey, guys, thank you for watching this. Thank you, Grant, for your time.
We should do this again. I like this.
Anytime. I'm game. Let's go. If you like this, you guys know what to do. Make sure you review the podcast, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. That's all we got.
Let's track his progress, but hold his ass accountable
Yeah, please do.
to become a billionaire.
I need the shirt. Till next time, we're out of here. Take care. Come here. Peace. Hey, thanks for being a subscriber of the Clever Investor Show. As a thank you gift, we wanted to give you something that we know is going to help you get started as a creative real estate investor. It's our Real Estate Success Kit, and it's completely free. Just go to www.reisuccesskit.com to customize your kit, but essentially it's a collection of 15 training tools designed to help you get results quickly as a creative real estate investor. From systems to lead generation to finding cash buyers to creative ways to close deals and get paid. Your free REI Success Kit is just a few clicks away. Once again, the website's www.reisuccesskit.com.